Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
Welcome to the Strange and Beautiful Book Club.
Wee wee.
I even remembered on the first try that time. It's time to talk about Dune Messiah. Kind of, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Two things.
Where Paul is Dune Messiah shit.
Two things. I don't feel like I'm going to do it. Obviously, I'm not going to do it before this one because we're about to record it. But I think before we record the next one, there's two things I think we should read.
Okay.
There is a biography of Frank Herbert by a guy named Timothy O'Reilly.
Okay.
And it's available free online. So I'll put a link in the show notes underneath this one if anybody wants to read it. And there's another book that I found called The Road to Dune. And it is by Brian Herbert, but it includes transcripts of interviews that Frank did. It's like a compendium.
Okay.
Like a How Did We Get Here book by Brian and the guy that he often writes with.
The sacred texts.
I can't remember what the name of the other guy is, but it's like interviews, but it's also short stories. Some of it are short stories that Brian has written, but other ones are short stories.
In the Dune universe?
Yeah.
The Duneverse?
The Duneverse that I think might be good to read just to backfill, like to give us more information so we're not rehashing the same points we went over the first time we talked about this. I don't see myself repeating what we talked about in the first one because my question has become, is Frank Herbert a good writer? Or is he just a fixture? It's like the Beatles. Okay, objectively, the Beatles are fine. If they came out today, would they be groundbreaking? I don't know. The culture is so different, it's difficult to say. But do we love the Beatles because we love the Beatles? For what they are? And
a position that I've heard on this topic several times is that across a wide span of things, when we look back at the foundational people in a subject, in a topic, whatever, we say, oh, this stuff is so obvious, so pedestrian, so whatever.
Right, because it's ubiquitous in the culture now. So
because it was so formative in the creation of our current culture, that the things that were novel and groundbreaking when it came out.
I'm not talking about the storyline of Dune. I'm not talking about the shit that happens in Dune. I'm talking about the actual mechanical writing, the words on the page. I think he has moments of brilliance. I think his storylines get you through it. And I think he has moments of brilliance, but he is so obfuscated in everything that he writes that I can't tell if it's me just being like, I don't want to. One more double talking male writer who's like, look how big my dick is. I use so many adjectives in that sentence. Oh my God, baby.
Just wait till Wormlito.
There's as many adjectives as I have inches in my dick. That's what it ends up. I'm like, fucking stop it. Okay. Like, okay. I should preface this. I also question whether Tolkien was a good writer for a variety of reasons.
How dare you?
Listen, you have to examine your gods every once in a while, okay? That's the whole point of constructive criticism.
Are they gripping authors? Are these page turners?
No.
Not necessarily.
Not even, no.
No, and in Tolkien's defense, I would say he's a linguist.
Okay.
He's a linguist who liked to do world building.
Okay.
And he wrote it into a story.
But Frank Herbert is a male writer, an incredibly male writer, in writing a male-centric book in a male-centric era in a genre that to this day is incredibly male-centered.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that to start with. I think we as readers have to retroactively apply softness to what he's writing in order to fully appreciate what he's trying to do for you in Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only real complaint, is like I have to do a lot of mental gymnastics to make Paul even slightly likable enough to get me through it. And he doesn't have to be likable, obviously, because the whole point of these stories is the subversion of the Messiah trope, right?
Yeah.
But if you want me to believe the ending of this book, I have to like Paul by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I have to understand Paul by the end of it.
He's supposed to be a sympathetic character
by
at the end.
By the end of it. Yeah. When he walks off into the desert, I'm supposed to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to feel all of the reasons that he did all of those things.
Yeah.
And I will say this. It is the 25th anniversary of the Dune miniseries. The original Dune miniseries. The 25th anniversary was this year.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it just happened not too long ago because Alec Newman posted a thing about the 25th anniversary of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no. What? No.
You know what
No,
else came out in the
it
year
seriously
2000? Legend of Dragoon.
I know. And Lord of the Rings, ironically. But here's where I'm going. The Children of Dune miniseries
Mm-hmm.
is a much needed modernization
Adaptation.
of the following two books. And it is one of the rare instances where I think the show did it better.
Mm-hmm.
I think the show is more comprehensible. You understand everybody's motivations. You understand what is happening. You actually get what's happening. I mean, you get what's happening in the book.
I feel like in Dune Messiah, the only character that you actually like really get a feel is Scytale.
I like Scytale.
Yeah.
I genuinely like, because I know, because he's a person.
Yes.
And I think Frank feels like he is giving us complicated characters, but all he's giving us is complicated shit happening to characters. And I think that to him felt like character development. Because if you put Paul in a situation, I'm not necessarily sure I could tell you what he would say or do. Like, I don't think I have a good model of who Paul is. Because Paul isn't a person. He's an archetype. He's literally
especially by this point, he's literally just playing out a script.
Right, but I think Frank sees him as a complicated character. I think Frank wants us to believe that he is. I think Duncan is a complicated character. I think Duncan is a fully fleshed out character, ironically. Fully fleshed out character. I think that Scytale ends up being a fully, only because empathy is one of the things that he must do. Like, empathy is
so maybe he like dialed that up when he was writing Scytale.
He's like, you know what my superpower
they're
is?
supposed to be empathetic.
You know what my superpower is? Empathy. I can do it. Other people can't, but I can.
I think Paul is a more complete character in Children of Dune than he is in Dune Messiah.
As the preacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he goes to see
the prince.
Farad'n. He goes to see Farad'n, and he's like, here's my dream. And he tells him his dream, and Paul's like, cool story, bro. And he goes, yeah, but you're supposed to interpret. He goes, oh, I did.
Yeah, I did. I interpreted it.
I did. Yeah. And he's like, okay, well, what is it? And he's like, oh, you didn't pay me to tell you what it was.
I didn't agree to tell you my interpretation.
That's not going to happen.
I just listened to that scene.
That is a better interaction than anything that happens in Dune Messiah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, that's it. I love Preacher Paul. I love Preacher Paul.
Yeah.
I love Preacher Paul in the miniseries too. Especially
Preacher Paul in the miniseries.
Especially when he's
peak. I love Alec Newman's hiss.
It's the best, right? You feel it. You feel it.
Yeah.
And they change stuff they change stuff about the death of the preacher, and they change stuff about the death of Alia, which we haven't gotten to yet because, of course, that's Children of Dune, and we're talking about Dune Messiah. And I think Frank wanted this to feel like a love story. And I have a couple of, if you listen to our episode on the second Dune that Denis Villeneuve is doing, I hate Johnny. Like, I hate what he...
Denis.
Okay, whatever. Denny.
I
I hate when he did to Chani. I hate that he turned Chani into a petty bitch.
Yeah.
Because to me, he loved Chani. He wanted Paul to love Chani.
Right.
Because he loved Chani. And so that's why I think he emphasizes their relationship so much. And Chani is the one thing in Paul's life that he chose.
But did he?
He did. Because in the next book, Leto meets that woman who would have been his woman. And he ends up choosing to just leave her.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what, actually, I'm good. So he could have been like, oh, you are the one who I'm supposed to be with. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. So he chose Chani, especially because his mom fucking hates Chani. Hates Chani. Every time she's brought up, she's like, oh, that trash.
Maybe a part of Paul choosing Chani was his rebellious teenage impulses.
Yeah.
My mom hates this woman.
Well, she's the one for me now.
No.
God damn. And I saw something. To me, Paul knows what's going to happen this entire book.
Yes.
He is literally puppeting everyone around him from page 1 to final page.
I think that's why Paul is so shallow in this book.
Well, and I was poking around, like, what is everybody else's interpretation of this book? Like, what is everybody else getting from it? Am I getting the same thing from it, or are we all getting different things? And consistently, I saw people saying they didn't think that Paul knew fully what was happening until like 2/3 of the way through the book. Someone suggested he didn't actually know the full shape of what was happening until he loses his eyes. And when he loses his eyes is when he locks himself into one future so that he can continue to see.
Right.
But before that, he was willing to let things be flexible.
There were options. There were alternatives for how the details would play out.
Right. Until he lost his eyes. And then it was like, sorry, I'm stuck now because I have to be on this one track. I have to make this work because otherwise I'm blind. Literally.
Yeah.
Literally blind. I don't see it that way. I think from the very first moment, he knows full well what's going on. That's why when the Reverend Mother arrives with Edric, he's like, oh, go get her off the spaceship.
Yeah.
And bring her down here. I think he is testing the waters to see if he can create alternative futures. Like when he talks to the Reverend Mother and he's like, how about IVF? We could do IVF. I'm more than willing to donate my sperm, and you can, I mean, like, I'm not going to donate my sperm, but I can like donate my sperm and you can just artificially inseminate somebody. I think he's like dropping a pebble in the water to see where the ripples go.
Yeah.
And in the end, there's only one way. And I think if you contextualize Chani as the one thing that he's ever chosen, the ending makes so much more sense because in the end, he chooses her comfort over everything else because he knows if she lives, she's going to have a hard life. This is literally the kindest thing that he can do for her is to let her go.
Yeah.
And then letting her go, he literally lets go the one part of him that was Paul, the one part of him that nobody else dictated, that was just him. And so literally he dies when she dies.
Yeah.
Because he had nothing else. Everything else was forced upon him by his mother, by circumstances, by the things that happened in the first book. And so when she dies, he leaves because there's nothing left. The only thing left is Muad'Dib. Paul is dead when she dies. So he has to kill Muad'Dib too. And the way he ends up orchestrating it, walking out into the desert, makes it so that the Fremen are responsible for his kids. So he doesn't even have to think, oh, well, now my kids are going to be harmed. He's like, no, Stilgar is going to guard them with his life.
Right.
Because I put Stilgar in charge. And nobody cares about Alia, literally ever. He's like, well, she's probably fine. But I think if you put it all together that way, it's a beautiful book. And it's a necessary ending for someone who didn't choose to be a Messiah.
Right.
Godhood was thrust upon Paul. And I think young Paul accepted the mantle. Like, okay, yeah, no, I'll be your Messiah. Okay. Yeah, I'll avenge my dad. That was 15, 17-year-old Paul. And this is like almost 30-something-year-old Paul, or in his 30s. And he's like, I am too old and I am too tired for this shit. I can't believe what I did as a child.
And as long as he had Chani around, he had a reason to like stay around. But then,
because he had the one thing he had his moon. He had the center of the light of his life, the center of his universe.
Other driving motivation this entire time is to limit the fallout of the jihad.
Yeah.
And after Chani's gone, he doesn't really care.
No, he doesn't care.
Yeah, even about limiting the fallout of the jihad.
And he has the option. He has the same option Leto does to become the worm, to fulfill his destiny, follow the golden path. And he was like, you know what? Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I already gave up everything for you.
Right.
I gave up everything. I became the bad guy. And I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. And that's why I think he's so sympathetic when he comes back as the preacher, because he's like, that me is dead. And I don't want anything to do with anything that he had. I don't even look into the future anymore. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm done. I'm done being used, because he's used his entire life. It puts him it pedestals him. It puts him in a position of power, but he's still the figurehead of a large moving machine over which he has very little control.
Right.
Especially once his religion and his government become one thing. And he creates this giant monument to himself, or the things around him create the monument.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he chose any of that.
I mean, once he started the ball in motion, he wasn't required anymore, which is why...
he enumerates several times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why he had to begin his own destruction. He doesn't end up killing himself when he walks off into the desert, but he sows the seeds for his own destruction. That's why Scytale says, you know, if you're wondering who's cooperating, I think you'd be surprised to find Paul himself is actually helping us out quite a bit.
He's being too convenient.
Yeah.
It's suspicious how well everything's lining up.
And I love when Scytale comes in as the girl, as Othium's niece or daughter.
Daughter-in-law.
Okay. As Othium's female relative. I read it, but like, so much fucking happens.
It was his son's wife.
Yeah, Ligna? Maybe? I don't know.
Ligma?
I could look it up. What did you say? Oh, it was mostly sweet, he whispered, and you were the sweetest of them all.
There's a joke about Ligma.
Is there?
Yep. Ligma balls.
I like this one. We are money rich and life poor. I heard you, but I'm ignoring you. He goes, dearest one, we are so money rich and so life poor. See, he has moments of brilliance. I think her name is Lichna.
This sounds right.
And you're like, lick my balls. Yeah, Lichna, Lichna. I was right.
Oh, Lichna. Okay.
Lichna. Lichna, I don't know, however you want to say it. She shows up with Scytale as Lichna. And he's like, wow, he's really good at this. Look at that face dancer. I can barely tell it's not her.
Right?
But he's like, oh no, what happened to your dad? Oh no, it's so sad. Oh, you want me to follow you? Okay. Wow, he's so convincing. Scytale's like, yes, I'm doing such a good job.
Yeah. Whew, I wasn't sure I'd be able to pull this off. It's I'm surprising everything's going so smoothly.
Things are working so much better. And then we show up to Othium's house and Bajaz is there. Bajaz is...
Which he did not see.
Bajaz is baffling, okay? The choice of Bajaz...
I wanted to double check. Do we ever see Scytale and Bajaz in the same room together?
Do we?
I don't think we do.
I don't think we do.
And given how much direction Bajaz has given how much like authority and Bajaz acts with in regards to the unfolding plot, I'm suspecting that Bajaz is Scytale, and then even at the end when they kill Scytale, when Paul
they
throws
kill
the
Bajaz.
knife,
No, don't they?
Because Bajaz ends up going back, and he verifies that Duncan is Duncan, and he's like, oh, I'm going to get my history back, my previous life back, all of my previous lives.
Yeah.
And he would carry news of the success of the Duncan, Idaho revivification back to Bene Telilax, or the Bene Telilax.
It's not they live on Ix.
Ixians. I don't think we ever meet Bajaz again. But I'm wondering if...
Yeah, he dies. I knew he died.
Bajaz dies?
Yeah.
Who killed him?
Idaho, I think.
That makes sense. Since that last scene with Bajaz in Idaho
after Scytale's death.
Okay.
He comes in, he's like, I mean, I could get you, Chani. You don't need Scytale, you got me. And he's like, Idaho, can you just fucking kill him, please? And I think Idaho just stabs him and kills him. Yeah, I thought so.
Darn.
Because he's like, you're the one who did the thing to me.
Yeah.
You programmed
implanted
me,
the
so
compulsion.
Fuck off. Oh, yeah. Paul ordered him to kill Bajaz before he succumbed to the Tleilaxu plan. That's the thing where he's like, kill him before he asks me again, because I'm not going to be able to say no. Like,
yeah.
I want Chani back so bad. I will do it. So fucking kill him before he asks me. And Duncan's like, KK, and he does it. And he's like, I will be one to do Bajaz the kindness.
Scytale as Bajaz felt like a really good,
alas,
like,
alas,
convoluted plot line.
I wish we'd gotten more Scytale. Like, I wish he'd been in more of it. He really just shows up a couple of times. He shows up at the very beginning to internally cast shade on everyone in the conspiracy. The conspiracy is one of the things that to me is like, okay, Frank, where were you hoping this would go? Because we open the novel with Irulan and Reverend Mother Gaius Helen Mohiam and Scytale,
the gnarled old witch,
and Edric. And they are having a conversation. And all of them are like, wow, Irulan's such an idiot. And then everyone's like, wow, Edric is such an idiot. And then Scytale and like the Reverend Mother are the only ones having a conversation for realsies. But they're having a subtextual conversation that is not what everyone is saying out loud. And by the end of it, every time I read it, I'm like, this is exhausting. I don't even know what's happening. Because that's the part where they're speaking the language that has, if you speak it in certain forms, it can convey a subtext that is not conveyed by the words. This is, how can I put this? So I've been seeing a recent trend online and in social media to flip the script. So when you're talking about someone with autism misses social cues and can't seem to understand what people are talking about because they don't understand body language and subtext and whatever. And so the flipping the script of non-neurodivergent people, neurotypical people struggle to say exactly what they want to say. They struggle with clearly describing their feelings or clearly describing what they're trying to tell you. That
they depend upon a deep shared like social context that's kind of hand wavy.
Is it even shared? Or is it just the perception of being shared?
It's the I think it does have to be shared to communicate accurately.
Yeah, but I think that the fact that the miscommunication trope is so prevalent to me says that the vast majority of neurotypical people have no idea what the fuck the other people are saying. And yet they're all like, well, why didn't you get it? How can you not understand what I was talking about?
They depend on the shared social context being there.
This feels like a commentary. This feels like a commentary on using using social subtext as the conversation and not what you're actually saying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Because the opening scene is like 4 conversations all happening simultaneously. But some of them are the actual conversation. Some of them are the subtext conversation. Some of them are just feelings, but the feelings conveyed by the tone of what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Contrast that against later when Irulan is talking to the Reverend Mother, and they are actually having a conversation, but they're also having like a hand signal conversation.
Right.
All at the same time. I get where Frank was going. What he wanted to convey was that humanity had become more complicated, that humans, the human us is not human them.
Right.
That they are capable of a greater level of complexity when it comes to discussion, when it comes to like mental maneuvering, and when it comes to political maneuvering.
Especially the royalty.
Yeah.
Where the valuable bloodlines.
I think self-selecting for the ability to overly complicate politics sounds like hell. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. That's what that feels like to me. Like, literally, that's what we selected for. That was the breeding program, was to be worse at being around each other. That fucking sucks, okay? Okay, so let's talk about Irulan for a minute, just to pivot the conversation. Where do you think he thought he was going with the Irulan character?
The thing about Irulan that I guess I noticed the most this read through that feels so out of place is she keeps being described as really, really sexy.
I think it's to be like, Paul's given that up. Paul could have that. He could have it anytime he wanted to, and he's not.
Right. Like, what's wrong with Paul that he doesn't even want to hit that?
Because he didn't choose her.
Right.
He chose Chani. Irulan was convenient. She was necessary, but she wasn't a choice.
Right.
But in the first book, we have all these beautifully written chapter headings that are mostly by Irulan.
Right.
And so you get the sense that she's a thoughtful, introspective historian, the type of person who is around when history happens because she wants to record it, which is kind of the joke he makes at the end of Dune. And yet by Dune Messiah, she's a toady. She's like a hanger-on. She's the roadie nobody wants. Like, she's the one that won't go away. There's even that part where she's like, I'm going to cuckold you. Oh, well, I'll get a lover. And he's like, go off. I would love for you to be happy.
Just no kids.
Yeah, don't have babies. Have all sex you want. I don't care. Be discreet. But fuck anybody. I don't give a shit. And Irulan's like, damn it. Didn't work. I was hoping that would work.
I didn't actually want to do it.
I didn't really want to do that, but she's so cock-blinded.
Well, I think she doesn't want to be there either.
Well, she wants his baby. She wants to be in history. She wants to be in the stream of history. She doesn't want to just record it. She wants to make the heir to the empire. And he's like, nah, no thanks.
Pass.
And she just never moves on. And then everyone keeps describing her as like hot but ridiculous. Like, God, what is so wrong with her? Like, in the next book, she's even she matches Alia. Like, they're always wearing the same outfits and lounging around on cushions together. And you're like, what is happening?
Girl boss.
And then she just disappears. This is another situation where the miniseries knew how to treat Irulan, but Frank didn't know how to treat Irulan.
Yeah.
Because the miniseries, the original miniseries, they seed her into the plot in a way that makes a lot of sense.
Right, in the Dune miniseries.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
So by the time you meet her at the end, you're like, oh, shit. Okay,
She's back.
I get why she decided. Well, I get why she agreed to the marriage. Okay, because we see her scheming. We see her trying to figure out what her dad is up to. We see her figuring out the truth about what happened to the Atreides. And then we see her being like, I'll do my part to rectify the wrong that my dad perpetrated.
Right.
And then in the Children of Dune miniseries, you get to see her as like a chosen mother figure. Like Paul always knew Chani would die and somebody would have to take care of the kids. And so he kept Irulan specifically because he knew she was sympathetic enough to be able to raise the kids.
Mm-hmm.
That makes so much sense. We never, by Children of Dune, Irulan is ridiculous, like a mouthpiece. She's there to echo Alia occasionally. It's like he couldn't figure out how to write her out of the story, but he didn't know what to do with her in the story.
Yeah.
He was like, well, she's a woman.
Wandering the halls.
She's a woman. What could she possibly have to say? Well, in the opening of Dune Messiah, even Scytale is like, oh, yeah, I get why the Bene Gesserit gave up on that. Jeez. That's dense. What? Why are we hating on Irulan immediately? Anyway, I can't figure out. I'm hoping reading some of the biographies and short stories and things gives me a window on why he would create these characters and then not write them out when it would make the most sense to write them out. Right? You can't have Jessica in Dune Messiah because Jessica would never have let Paul do what he was doing. She would have interfered.
Right.
And
but
so
Irulan is kind of a passive observer.
Well, so Jessica's not in it. So she's just not in the book.
It's like why most Disney movies don't have the mother, because the mother would just prevent the whole
right. She wouldn't do
conflict.
It to save, well, maybe to save Paul. Not for Chani, she wouldn't do it. But she'd be like, my baby.
my baby boy.
My baby boy. It'd be like at the end of Mitchell versus the Machines. She's like, my sweet baby boy. That's exactly how it would have gone down. You use a stone murder on my Paul? Goes off, murders an entire planet by herself.
She could do it.
She could do it. But that's why she's not in this, because she muddies the waters. So he just wrote her out. We don't even write where she is. They're just like, I don't know, she's not here. She's not here. And Alia's only 15 in this.
Yep.
I do like the part where she's exercising naked. And she gets to like 11. She's like, I mean, I put 11 on the dial because it's like 11. You know, it's like.
Turn it up to 11.
It's like one more than 10. It's 11. And Paul shows up and he's like, the fuck is wrong with you? And she's all sweaty and naked. And the whole time, everyone in the book is like, nah, kiss. nah, kiss. And Alia and Paul are the only ones who are like, the fuck, gross. No, god damn, I'm never having sex with my sister. Would you stop? Which brings me around to a question I have about Alia.
Yeah.
Since we can't really elaborate on Irulan because we don't know enough about Irulan. I just don't know. My lingering question that perhaps we can discuss throughout the entire series is why does he write in these characters that have no obvious arc or exit? Irulan had no arc and she had no real exit. I mean, it ends up feeling like that's why he keeps bringing Duncan back from the dead, because he's like, I don't really know how to get rid of him. He just keeps popping back. He died, dude. He died twice. Just let him stay dead. And he's like, I don't know. I think maybe I need him again. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Well, anyway, we'll get there. But my question for Alia is Alia Gen Z? Because, hang on. I'm speaking specifically in the context of my long ago Gen Z teenage niece, in that she has access to the knowledge of all of the ancients.
Oh, since birth.
Since birth. And she just ends up possessed by a troll.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
AI psychosis.
Is our kids born in the era of social media and internet at your fingertips and AI preborn? Abomination, one might say. Because they're not
bombarded with the
they don't have
collective knowledge of the universe.
They don't have time to form their
infancy.
own. They don't have time to form their own personalities before they are.
Is Alia what happens when you grow up on YouTube?
Is it? That's my question.
Yeah.
Because Alia can type a search term into her own search bar and watch a video on anything she wants to watch. Porn, got that.
And get exposed to horrors beyond her imagination. Surprise, goatsy.
Yeah. Just right there in her head at all times.
Yeah.
Not only that, but she goes on like deep dive. She literally induces AI psychosis by taking drugs and then searching the internet. Regularly. I'm just saying. It's a good question because in the end, look how it turns out for her.
She's chronically online.
Alia is chronically online. That's exactly what happens. She becomes her own troll.
Yeah.
And all she can do is break down the systems around her because she just wants to cause chaos. Because
need that sweet dopamine.
Yeah, because the thing in her head is like,
do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Why don't
do it?
We should slide into their DMs. We should send him a dick pic. Have you thought about sending him a dick pic? I mean, it's not in this book, but in the next book, when she's fully sort of taken over by the Baron Harkonnen, she's even starting to get plump. And they mention it. They're like, ew, she's getting a little bit fat. And I was like, thank you, Frank. Wow. Because we all know evil people are fat people. That's how that works.
Well, and I think in the universe of Dune, where you can control like everything about your body, especially the Bene Gesserit, being plump, overweight is a choice.
Right. No, I mean, I get it, but also, okay. It's like my friend pointed out. She goes, well, I mean, isn't it a little sexist that the scheming, manipulative, power behind the throne are all the women? Like the Bene Gesserit is all female? And I was like...
but is the guild any less scheming?
They're math. They're pure mathematics.
I would say they are more
they rule in
capitalists.
They rule in a very patriarchal way where they control one resource completely. And they maintain power.
Despotism.
By just saying they will withhold that resource, space travel.
Yeah.
Whereas the Bene Gesserit do not corner the market on anything except manipulation. They are
information.
Highly skilled in manipulation.
Yeah.
So much so that they will, generations ahead of time, just go ahead and plant some dogma, some doctrine over there.
They are manipulating for a potential outcome tens of thousands of years in the future, whereas the guild is manipulating things for a potential outcome to maximize shareholder profits in the short term.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're robber barons. And the Bene Gesserit are like, they're just scheming people. But
the
anyway,
Illuminati.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. That was my moment of brilliance. I was reading it this time. I was like, is Alia Gen Z? Are Gen Z kids Alia? Abandoned by their parents at birth? Just here, have the phone. You're fine. No, don't come with me to Caladan, Alia, so we can take you away from the spice and maybe prevent this from happening to you.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, you're gross. You're gross. I'd rather have you die of possession than have you touch me anymore. Stay there. Fucking Jessica. We're going to come back to her in Children of Dune because of course she comes back. Okay, is this book about Paul finally making the choices that benefit him the most?
He's at least making the choices that reduce the suffering of himself and his loved ones.
Okay. Except being there when Chani asks him to be there with her.
Right, that
is the most 60s male thing. It's
right, waiting outside the delivery room.
Waiting outside the delivery room. Oh, she needs me there? No, she doesn't. It's fine. Women are like that.
I would have liked to see. Did they do it in the miniseries? And I think one thing that could have happened that would make Paul more sympathetic is when he's standing outside with Duncan.
Yeah.
Duncan go with hate. And Chani is dying. I think it would have added to Paul's character if he was internally like remote viewing, like using his prescience to at least observationally be in the room with Chani.
But he's not. He's just,
I mean, he could be.
He's just mourning her in advance.
He could be, but that's not conveyed in any way.
No, because he's standing out there, and then there's like all the animals go quiet, and then he hears her voice being like, "Fuck you," and he's like, "Oh, she's gone."
I think if he had done that, she would have picked up on it, because they did have a little bit of.
Yeah, she is prescient.
Yeah, she.
Yeah,
they all the Fremen are, but Chani, especially, I think, by proximity, by long time proximity to Paul, has picked up on more of it. Like in Jumper, the Jumper books. He
mentions it a couple times in this.
In the Jumper books, when you accompany a teleporter enough times, you eventually get the knack.
Well, she does. They mention it a couple of times because she says stuff and he's like, "Whoa, does she see the future?" Yeah, my Chani does see the future, but she just doesn't understand. Her feeble female mind just cannot comprehend what my maleness can.
Her wild Fremen genes.
It's her uterus. It gets in the way. When you try to look into the future, the uterus just stands in front of you like, "Whoa, look over here, look over here." Like, get out of the way, uterus. I'm trying to look at the future.
The ovaries aren't even connected to the uterus like my balls are to me.
Oh, my God. I'm not going to say I don't like these books. Of course I like these books. That's not what criticism from us is never, if I don't like it, I'll specifically say I don't like it. Just because I'm criticizing it doesn't mean I don't like it. It means I'm engaging in the media.
Yeah.
Listen to any one of our TV episodes where we just pick it apart. I was listening to some of our Forever Night because somebody commented, posted that we were on the top of their Spotify, whatever.
Wrapped.
Yeah. And they were like, I can't believe, or something like, it made it to number one so quickly or whatever, because I've been binging it, because it turns out it's wholesome as fuck. And I was like, we're wholesome? Okay. And so I went back to listen, like, are we? What do you mean by wholesome? So I went back to listen to it. At this point, I think we're two middle-aged people just shooting the shit in a room. But also, we just pick it apart, we just tear them apart. And I love Forever Night to death. I have so much love for Forever Night.
Our ability to tear it apart means we were paying attention.
I paid attention. I've read this multiple times. I've deeply engaged in it. There are parts of Messiah that are so fucking good. And then I think reading Messiah and then going back and watching the first episode of the Children of Dune miniseries really kind of puts it all, gives you a visual for everything that's happening. So all the beautiful lines that he delivers at the end, where he's like, we're money rich but life poor, or I find myself in a universe I don't like with flesh that doesn't fit. That is the most succinct definition of grief I have ever heard in my entire life. And it's beautiful. But then the way he portrays a relationship is just trash. He doesn't go in there. She literally calls for him and he's like, well, she's dying soon anyway. So
right. The Dune miniseries, the first one, did such a good job of giving us the small intimate moments between Paul and Chani to actually show us that, oh yeah, they're in love.
Yeah. And then she has the babies and then he goes in to see her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, she talks to him for a minute and then she dies when he's there. So she sees him and then she dies. And then he collapses. And you understand the fullness of his grief. And you understand why he's like, don't let him ask me again, because if he asks me again, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to say no. And you also understand Irulan's role, because Chani finds out that Irulan has been giving her contraceptives and she's like, I'm going to kill that bitch. I'm going to kill her right now. Give me the knife. I'm going right now. And Paul's like, Chani, take a deep breath. When you feel so mad
No.
that you want to roar, take a deep breath and count to 4. She's like, fucking no. And he's like, listen, don't kill her. And she's like, give me a reason. Give me a reason not to kill her.
I'm just thinking of all these memes where, like, as a joke, a guy will be like, oh, like, if your wife's upset, if you're having a fight, whatever, just tell her to calm down.
Yeah, that'll work.
or she's mad, so you put a cape on her and you say, now you're Superman.
Yay.
That's what Paul does to Chani.
I mean, he tells her no.
When Chani's like, I'm going to kill Irulan. She's been giving me contraceptive. He's like, just don't worry about it.
He's like, hey, nah, it's fine. It's fine. And she's like, it's not fine.
It's not that big a deal. It hasn't affected me personally.
I know. I feel okay. I feel pretty okay about what she's been doing to your body, actually. So I think I'm fine with this.
Your body, Irulan's choice.
Well, it makes more sense in the miniseries because Irulan becomes their mother.
Yeah.
Irulan raises the twins. And so it becomes,
right.
Don't
There's
kill
actually
her.
a developmental arc there.
It becomes don't kill her because we're going to need her.
She's going to raise our children.
We're going to need her.
Yeah.
And in the book, it's just like, no.
It would be politically inconvenient if you killed her. And I am all
Johnny.
about political convenience.
Johnny, don't be like that, baby. Don't be like that. And she's like, oh, I am like that.
You're
actually.
overreacting.
I am. I can feel it in my longer lower intestine. They mentioned that in Children of Dune, there's a part where Ladle's running around, and it's like, thanks to his mother's inheritance of a longer lower intestine, he was able to like get more moisture from what he was eating.
Yeah, because the lower intestine
and I'm like, wow.
reabsorbs
wow.
moisture.
Thank you. So do they have like rabbit poop? Do they have like tiny little rabbit poop? Okay, are the Fremen
wombat poop?
I was gonna say, do the Fremen have square poop like wombats?
So it doesn't roll down the sand.
Yes.
And attract the worm.
No, see, look, it's an adaptation. All you have to do is have intestines that are stretchy in one direction, but not the other direction.
Yep.
And then you get square poop.
Yeah.
Like wombats. Okay, canonically now, Fremen have tiny...
Fremen make wombat poop.
Tiny cube-shaped wombat poop that they expel once per week. And then they pick it up and they take it to the water reclaimer and they're like, whatever's left, man, get it out.
No, the water reclaimer is the harvested lower intestine of several Fremen.
They just run it through there.
Squeeze the body through it.
Oh, my God. And then they process their feces.
Biomimicry.
Well, they process their feces in their still suits. So they shit their pants. Like,
oh, yeah.
I feel like we gloss over that in every adaptation, but like they shit their pants on the regular.
Yeah.
Are they potty trained? Like if you put a baby Fremen in a still suit immediately because you're like, he's losing water, man. I can't be dealing with this. So you put him in like baby size still suit. Did they immediately learn to just pee and shit in their pants? Is that why?
That's a good point.
Is that why the seat smells when they come home and they're like, it smells like home?
We need the Dune version of the Shallan Adolin discussion about pooping in shard plate.
Yeah. And he's like, I mean, sometimes, you're busy and you're working real hard and you just sort of shit yourself.
You don't have time to take a break because there's 10 guys coming at you.
Kind of shit yourself. And she's like, okay, well, good to know. When you're doing stuff and then you just shit your pants. It's funny because this comes up in like the romantasy genre pretty frequently. Because one of the people, because one of the people that's like not the founder, but kind of the modern voice that everyone is trying to replicate, let's put it that way, is Sarah J. Maas.
Okay.
And every single one of her characters gets watery bowels. Literally anytime anyone has any kind of anxiety. One character pisses herself at least once, if not twice. And then they track her by the smell of her urine because they're like, oh, she's scared. She peed her pants. It's that way. And they like, And then,
Wow.
then there's another character who shits herself every time she gets anxious. Sexily shits herself. Literally the most attractive shit you've ever seen. Wombat shit, one might even say. And you're just like, we joke about it, but also I don't need to know. Okay. I was reading an Orson Scott Card book and it was otherwise very interesting. It's about this character who's a changeling and he finds this house that nobody else can see. And when he goes in it and goes out into the backyard, it's like the fairy realm.
Okay.
And one of the first things he does in the fairy realm is take a shit. But in like graphically he's like, well, he sat on a log because that way he didn't have to squat. But don't worry, he's like really healthy and he exercises a lot. So it came out all in one coherent log and he didn't have to wipe because it just came straight out and he can then just pull his pants up. I don't care if that happens. I don't want to know. It's like in the next book where we talk about Leto's loins entirely too much. At one point he's like, look, I don't even have a dick. Look. And Ferran's like,
it's all gone.
Ferran's like, I don't want to look. And he's like, you want to touch it? you want to touch where it used to be? It's right that's where it used to be. And he's like, I know, I don't want to look at it. And he's like, you want to touch it? Like that's that's the exact vibe. And yet he keeps feeling things in his loins. He's like, oh, this is like reproduction because I can feel it in my loins. And you're like, I don't want to know about your loins. You are a child. You are a child. Please stop talking about how you feel things in your loins, okay? Duncan gets with Alia when she's 15. He kisses her non-consensually. And she's like, oh, gross. I didn't ask for that. And he was like, yeah, you did. You were asking for it. And she's like, I mean, I kind of. Yeah. And you're like, wow, that is the most 1969 man thing. Well, if a woman looks at you and smiles, she wants you.
That's
should
probably
go ahead.
One of the best tone changes, adaptations for a modern audience change that...
Oh, aging everyone up.
Yeah, they aged everyone up in the Children of Dune miniseries.
Cannot be underestimated how much that makes the story better.
Yeah, an extra 10 years or however much they did.
Yeah.
Makes everything... it removes a lot of problematic behavior.
Oh, 100%. And you end up picturing them as the older characters. Like in my head, Leto is James McAvoy, which is great.
Yeah. 17
to 19-year-old James McAvoy instead of 8 to 10-year-old child. But I mean, I get that we're supposed to be like Alia is more mature because she has all of these lives.
Right.
In the same way that Gen Z kids know way more about sex by the time they're 15 than I ever did. But that doesn't make her body not 15.
Right. And Alia, at the beginning of Children of Dune, Alia even says about Leto and Ganima that they are young, they still have the curiosity of children.
Yeah.
Despite... because she's thinking about how to manipulate them to go through the spice trance. And she's like, they're still children.
Yeah.
They're still super curious. They just have all this extra information available.
Right. So there's a whole thing that's happening in Dune Messiah where we have a bunch of traitor Fremen. And I think Korba is the leader. This is the part that always escapes me. There's stone burner.
Yeah. ...
stone burner. That's to me the best part of this book doesn't start until Paul loses his eyes.
Yeah.
Up until then, it's everyone spinning their wheels. What is the point of Edric? Except to hide everybody.
To be an oracle to hide everyone.
And then the Dune Tarot, which I wish they had created a Dune. Did they create a Dune Tarot? Because that would be the best eBay find, I think, ever in the history of ever. He made some up. He mocked them up on some note cards and was like, here's what I think the Dune Tarot looks like. This one has worms and this one has sand.
There was no official Dune Tarot deck released according to AI Overview, but I'm going to keep searching because
Ask chat if the Fremen poop wombat poop.
Okay, here's a Reddit post from 6 years ago. Pre-AI. Pre-AI overview baked into literally fucking everything. Get out!
I saw one that was like, as a white man, I object to Chat GPT assimilating my culture, which is saying things confidently wrong and using Reddit as a source.
That's a hot take. Ooh, I'm gonna use that at work.
Yeah.
I just had to do my like quarterly goal check-in.
Yeah.
And I have like an AI goal because one of the organization like values is like embracing AI or whatever.
Yeah, because they're also deeply invested in AI.
Oh my
they gotta
gosh.
get you to use it.
So I'm enumerating like here's the things that I've tried with the large language model integration into code editors and whatever, and enumerating like these are the things that kind of work, and then this is the bullshit I have to put up with if I want to use it how people want you to try to use it. Anyway, let's see.
Stating things confidently but incorrectly and using Reddit as a source.
Okay. Bev, his wife, Bev Herbert, commissioned artwork and took sample photos for a Dune tarot, but they couldn't find a company that was interested in publishing it, and the project was shelved.
And no one's done it since. Listen, if you can make SpongeBob, a Magic the Gathering SpongeBob.
The Dune Encyclopedia features drawings of some of the tarot cards. And they hypothetically, or I guess there's a rumor that, let's see, this person says, in the Children of Dune miniseries, they show the Dune tarot as hexagonal tiles. And the rumor was that a full tarot deck was designed for that miniseries.
Oh, okay.
But it was never released.
God damn it. If we can make, if Wizards of the Coast can do the stupid thing that they've been doing where they're making like
Universes Beyond or whatever.
Making 1 million Magic the Gathering cards.
Somebody said, I'm surprised Brian has not turned it into an actual sellable thing yet.
I mean, come on. I mean, listen, no shade on Brian. No shade. This man inherited.
Some big shoes to step into.
Right. No, he inherited Frank Herbert's estate. And he was like, okay, I can let this go. I can sleep on it. I can just coast on the, 5-ish books. And then the 6th book, which I think he died before it was actually written. But anyway, I can coast on this. Or, hear me out, I can take all of my dad's notes and I can make this my entire personality and my entire career. And then maybe daddy will be proud of me. The last part was a joke, but also, as much, I know people get down on Brian's quality of writing versus his dad's quality of writing. But listen, I think we could all take a step back from some of our deeply held beliefs about the way that these men wrote and have some real conversations about the fact that I think Frank had brilliant ideas. I don't think I think that Dune, the first book, I think that is his best written so far of the 3 that I've read. I think that's his best written. I think Messiah has the best plot in terms of comprehensibility, in terms of sympathetic characters. I don't think any other book has characters that you sympathize with. I sympathize with the preacher in Children of Dune, but I don't know if I sympathize with the preacher because I like him or because I see him as Alec Newman Alec Newman from the miniseries. And he's like, like the part where James McAvoy and Alec Newman are sitting on a dune and they're having a act off where they're like, who can crush this role the best? And he's like, I just wanted you to be my dad for a minute. And he's like, I don't get to be your dad for a minute because if for 1 second I let go and I go back to being Paul, I can never give that up because I want you too badly.
Yeah.
I have to give it all up and I can't have any of it back because I already said no to your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And if I just can't, like, I don't have the strength to say no again, even to you. And so I have to keep you at arm's distance, even though everything in me wants you to be my son.
Yeah.
And that is heartbreaking, right? And in the book, it's like...
And it's not, like, taken out of the book. It's, like, loosely inspired by...
I know, it's like, well, they kind of met on the Dune, and it was, like, a thing that they did, but, like, maybe we can, like, I don't know. We can soften this a little bit. Because in the book, it's a philosophy dick-off.
Right.
They masturbate philosophy at each other for 45 fucking minutes, and then we move on.
Right.
He's like, so anyway, you're my hostage now. Get on the fucking worm, Dad. He's like, quite fine.
Like, right. And to make the characters relatable, it was so much more effective.
Yes. One, because just...
to give them the real connection of...
And to cut the chaff. There's a lot of... The Korba plot, that's what I was getting at. The Korba plot is like, you get it, but also, I know he was trying to go for multi-layered storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. And this was actually originally released in a magazine.
Right. Piecemeal.
And it was not the full text. When he went and put it into a book, he added stuff to it.
Oh.
And I was reading a little blurb from Brian where he was saying that he couldn't get the same magazine to publish
Dune Messiah that published Dune.
Which we mentioned in the last episode.
Yeah.
But he said he really felt like his dad could not adequately explain what was happening in Dune Messiah. And that maybe that is why the magazine didn't pick it up, because he wasn't pitching it in a way that felt coherent, which listening to his interview, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I can see that. I can see where he got lost in the sauce and he was like, so anyway, then he becomes blind, but he's so good at seeing the future. He can still see, and the guy's like, yeah, actually, I think we're going to have to pass on this book. I don't know. But again, in the interview, he had moments of brilliance where he's like, well, I think the difference between a hero and an anti-hero is just where you end the story. The rest of it is just like spinning his wheels, gobbledygook. But then every once in a while, he's like, anyway, here's a banger. Poof, I'm going to drop that right there for you, which is exactly how he writes.
Yeah.
Where he will spin his wheels. He spins his wheels for 3/4 of this book. Mm-hmm. A whole side tale plot where he then goes and talks to that one guy and he immediately murders that guy. And then he murders that guy's son because that guy's son has been transmitting some kind of message through his music. It ends up being like... Blah, blah, blah,
and then he murders the daughter-in-law.
Then he murders the daughter-in-law and he becomes her. And then he murders... No. Yeah. And then there's
he
Edric.
Becomes Othium for the meeting with Paul.
No, he doesn't. He's not Othium. That is actually Othium.
No, immediately at the end of his meeting with Othium, he kills Othium, and then he becomes Othium and goes and talks to Lichna. And he remarks that,
Lichna's already dead by then. Lichna dies we meet her when he goes to talk to the first guy, not Othium, but the other guy.
Farouk. He becomes Farouk. Yeah.
And
then talks to Lichna.
Right. And then he ends up killing Lichna.
Yeah. I got Farouk and Othium.
Othium, because Othium has the spitting disease. I liked Farouk. That was another moment where you're like, wow, you knew how to introduce a character, but you had no trajectory for this character. Because here was a character who was like, I was all for the jihad. I thought I was doing everything right. I was fighting for Muad'Dib, and then I saw the ocean.
Yeah.
And I walked out into the
ocean.
Farouk
was a really good character too.
And I went under the water, and when I came up, a different man came up. And
water creature.
I left all of the fight behind me. It washed away all of my ambitions for jihad.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to come home. And you're like, God damn, that is a cool character. I want to see his character. I want to see more of him. And then he's like, and then anyway, Sidetail killed him.
Immediately.
Frank, he doesn't have a good understanding. To me personally, it feels like he doesn't have a good understanding of what makes a character compelling.
To the reader.
Yeah. He knows how they fit in the plot. He knows how to create a lot. He knows how to have a lot of moving pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have any real concept of how to make those moving pieces feel like the kind of thing I want to figure out.
Right.
Like, take the Murderbot novel, for example. By the time you get to the Murderbot novel, you've read quite a bit of Murderbot. You have a good idea of who Murderbot is. You start the novel, and there are so many layers of things that are happening. Technological things, planetary. There's like, the first time you read it, nothing. It's just vibes. I didn't know what was happening. And then the next time I read it, you can pay attention to this layer. And then you can go back and read it again and pay attention to a different layer. And I don't think it was probably till the fourth or fifth read through that I was like, oh, is that what the aliens are? Oh my God, I did not get that. But everything else is so compelling, you don't care. Even when you don't know what Murderbot is doing, you don't give a shit.
It's still a page turner.
Because you're there for Murderbot.
Yeah.
At no point in Dune Messiah until the Stoneburner do I know what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are people there who are trying. They're like, there's a conspiracy happening. I don't really know how
Alia may or may not be directing.
Yeah, maybe, but also Edric maybe, but also the Reverend Mother who kind of is in it. She shows up and then she's like, well, anyway, I don't know if we want to do the IVF thing. I think I need to talk to my friends. And then she dies. Alia has her killed.
Yep.
And then Duncan shows up, which is really just a look how good of a job we did with Duncan. We're going to be able to do that with Chani too. Wink, wink. But then we don't know how they know that all the things that are going to happen. Because we don't know how prescience works. And yet he operates all of his books on the assumption that we have at least a basic grasp of who can see the future and who can't.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, Edric can see the future. And it's like, okay, can he? Why can he see it when Paul can see it? And yet that doesn't muddy the waters. They can both see the same future, but they can't see each other.
Right.
But what if they're both in the future? Is the future then hidden? Or is only the path that you're on currently hidden? And if viewing the future fixes the future, was the future actually always fixed? Or was it just that you observing it fixed it?
Strange attractor.
So
dynamical system.
I mean, if he wanted to leave you with questions, he leaves you with questions. But there's a very fine line between I have not explained enough because I want you to flesh it in and make the world bigger yourself, and a plot hole. And he walks that bitter edge several times in this book. I love this book, but he does. Where you're like, I don't know, Frank. I don't know. And I don't know because I've watched the miniseries so many times and I've read this one so many times. I don't know if my feelings are coming from the miniseries or from this book. I'll be honest. This is why I'm looking forward to getting to the ones that we haven't read yet, because I have engaged with media in and around these particular books so much, I can no longer separate my feelings for any individual thing.
Yeah.
But I do want to read Frank Herbert's biography. I do want to read The Road to Dune. I think when we talk about Children of Dune, we can retroactively bring in a lot of stuff that happens in Dune Messiah. That's why we haven't been super specific. I mean, you read it or you didn't read it. If you didn't read it, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Do, because this one's short. This one's quite short.
Listen to our last podcast episode.
Yeah, I think
where
we
talked
went
about
over
Dune
it.
Messiah.
We went over it.
We went
much
through more plot beat.
Yeah, this was more about. We're vibe reading this way this time through. Where I'm like, how do I feel about these books? How do I want to engage in these books? Do I feel like these books have aged well enough? Because Denis Villeneuve is adapting Dune Messiah.
Right. But only Dune Messiah.
He's quitting there.
My hunch is that in a couple more years, he'll be like, you know what? I gotta finish it.
I don't know how we get.
4.
I don't know how we get back to this. I don't know how we get Chani back because Chani leaves him at the end of the movie. The end of the second movie.
How is he going to bring Chani back?
Because she's like, oh, don't do that, baby. You're going to make me mad.
Aww.
And he's like, baby, I have to.
I'll
and
be
she's
so
like,
sad without
no.
you.
And then she hops on a worm and flies off in a rage. Chani would never. I said that last time too, but also Chani would never. And I know, I get it. There was quite a bit of conversation that I saw poking around on the internet about how submissive Chani is in this book. But to me, Chani doesn't feel submissive. Chani feels political. Like she understands the nuance and the fine line that he has to walk. And she realizes that her part in it sometimes is appearing as if she agrees with him or just not rocking the boat.
Getting people to underestimate her because she's just a feral Fremen.
Yeah. With a really long lower intestine.
But she's actually like a really good observer and can actually give Paul insightful commentary and feedback that maybe he didn't pick up on.
Right. I think the out of print rewrite of this, the out of copyright rewrite of Dune Messiah has more scenes with Paul and Chani.
Yeah.
Where Chani is just having conversations with him that are not, but I want to make baby. I like baby. I want baby.
Tick tock. My biological clock is ticking.
I know. She's like, but I had baby and I lost baby. So
want more.
I want more baby. That which is her.
Please, sir, can I have some more of that baby?
Can I get another one of them babies? She's like, we do the dick thing enough, yes, but no baby. No
the baby juice.
No baby. Which, okay. I wish there was more to her. I can see it, which is the shitty part. And then the actress.
And Paul even talks about how she can rattle off the names and like motivations of every major political player because she's that good. But then we never see her.
We don't see her do
that.
But when we see, I think her name is actually Barbara.
Kodatova?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we see her, she gives me the Chani I want.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not the, I mean, Zendaya does fine, but Zendaya's like, you can tell I'm strong because I don't look particularly feminine. Ha da da. That's male adjacentness is strength. Ha ha. Great. Thank you. I really.
You can tell I'm a deep, strong individual because I never smile.
I don't even wear makeup, bro. God. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I liked Zendaya's Chani right up until the end. When Denis went rogue and was like, what if... I get where he's going. I get that. That's the hard part, is I get where he's going. Because he wants Chani to not be complicit in what Paul's doing.
Right.
He wants her to be mad because he's destroying her way of life.
Right.
Except we get that at the end of Dune Messiah when she's sitting outside and she's watching a storm come up and Duncan comes out to get her and she's like, this was my desert. And I remember hunting scorpions here as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, there's a storm coming. And she's like, you think I don't know it? You think I don't know my desert? And yet there's plantings, there's like greenery growing on the dunes around her. Yep. And her desert is dying just like she is dying. And she realizes that in that moment. And that's why she wants Paul to come to her. And he's like, I'm good. I mean, you're going to die anyway. So
I'm not going to miss anything except you.
I want to watch the sunset. God, baby, you're always taking me away from what I want to do. Jeez.
I'm trying to be present in the moment.
But not your moment, my moment.
In the moment.
How does you dying affect me? I'm just saying, like, it
but
doesn't.
He can't even see the sunset. He asks Duncan to describe it for him.
I know. With his Gola eyes, which everyone's like, what do you see? And he's like, what you see? I don't know.
Think Geordie LaForge.
When he gets his eyes.
No, when he has the visor that can see the entire electromagnetic spectrum, and he's trying to convey how inhuman it makes him feel sometimes.
I mean, later he gets eyes. He just gets like implants.
Yeah. Yep. And then there's the movie where his eyes grow back.
Well, that's
for a little while.
Yeah, that's different. That's the one where Worf goes through puberty too.
Yeah.
Insurrection?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. With the people with the face stretching. And all they ever had to do was just be like, we're wrong. Can we come home? And they'd have been fine. But instead it's like Patriarchy, the movie. All I had to do was say, I'm sorry.
Patriarchy, the movie.
All you had to do was say you were wrong. I'm sorry. You were right. I'm wrong. Can I come home? And they'd be like, yeah, dog, whatever. Come on home. Because remember, the one guy comes back and he's already better. He's like, I'm feeling much better. Whatever. Anyway, I think this is a good place to leave Dune Messiah. We have some homework where we're going to read the biography, and I'm going to find Road to Dune, and we're going to read that too. And I think that will bring a lot more to the discussion of Children of Dune, because Children of Dune feels like, so he wrote Dune. It was his like, I'm going to write Dune. He wrote Dune, and then he actually envisioned all three as one story.
Yeah.
He was going to write the whole thing all at once. And he wrote Dune Messiah while he was still writing Dune.
Yeah.
And he wrote parts of Children of Dune while he was still writing Dune. He was writing on all of them at the same time.
The life and death of Muad'Dib.
But stylistically, Dune, completely different. Completely different from the remainder of the series.
Yeah.
So it feels like Harry Dresden book number 1. Harry Dresden book number 1 is entirely different from every other book in the series.
Yep.
His magic works differently. The tone is different. James Marsters reads it differently. Everything is different about it.
Yeah.
And then the second book, he's like, okay, let's fucking go. Here's my stride. I've got it now.
Yeah.
So he needed something to take us from book 1 to the rest of the series. And that's Dune Messiah. And then he needed to wrap up the original plot enough to move on to what he actually wanted to talk about, which is Children of Dune. So that he can move on to Worm Leto, which is what he really wanted in the end.
Yes.
He was like, Worm Leto's where I'm going to shine. And I want to get to it. And I did see quite a bit of commentary about how book 4, Worm Leto, Worm Leto, is where it gets most dated.
Yes. Yes. There's lots of discussion of homosexuality in the armed forces, and
I'm looking forward to this. I'm preparing my body for this. Okay, so I think that for seriously though, like that's where we're going to leave this. And then when we come back to Children of Dune, we'll have done our homework and we'll be ready to talk about my least favorite book of the first 3, Children of Dune.
All right.
Because fuck Jessica. Fuck Jessica. Anyway, fuck Jessica. And Leto is insufferable. Insufferable. I'm so looking forward to reading books that are literally based on him.
Human Leto,
Worm Leto, all of them. Utterly insufferable.
Worm Leto is a little bit better.
At no point in Children of Dune do I care if he lives or dies. I'm hoping every time I'm like, eat him, tiger. Eat the shit out of him. Let's make Ghanima the hero of her own story.
Yeah. Maybe Ghanima
being
could become
named Spoil of War. And she's like, so anyway, then I got mad and I threatened to kill Farad'n, but then I met him and he was hot, so I didn't kill him after all. The end. All right. Go ahead, do your thing.
Sometimes the strangest things are the most beautiful too.
So be who you are and love what you love. Until next time, friends.
Bye.